Yes, people, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all well. Don't know why that's replaying there. Make sure you're all having a wonderful day. You're smashing the likes, you're subscribing to the channel. We're talking Liverpool transfers again today. We're talking Florian Wirtz potential bid. Is Kerkez advanced? Are Man City in the race? We're talking about other players potentially exits. Harvey Elliott. We're talking about Kelleher. We're talking about Simicast. Darwin Núñez as well. We're talking about all of them on today's show. Make sure you're all enjoying the stream. You're smashing that like button. It really does help push out the channel to more and more people. And yeah, let's dive into all. We're going to start off with the latest regarding Florian Wirtz. And by the way, people, thank you so much for the love on yesterday's stream. Wow, we gained a lot of subscribers yesterday, and I think we're one away from 850. So let's hope we can keep on that push for that. So let's get into some of the comments. Yes, lads, smash them likes and subscribe. You've seen the City Kerkez stuff. Yeah, we're going to dive into that transfer battle. Darwin leaving, 60 mil for Darwin. So we're going to go over the Wirtz stuff. We're then going to talk about Kerkez. We're then talking about Frimpong, and then we're going to talk about Liverpool exits. So let's dive into it all. So Sky Sports in Germany have said Liverpool are pushing really hard to sign Florian Wirtz. Bayern Munich have an agreement in place with the player, but there is a big question mark whether they can reach an agreement with Bayer Leverkusen. Look, we've known this for some time, about a week now, that I think personally the money is going to be an issue for Bayern Munich. They're not going to want to pay the full whack. I believe Liverpool will be able to probably structure a deal with Bayer Leverkusen better than Bayern Munich would. I think you look at it in the sense of, they're going to want a hefty fee for Wirtz, and obviously they want 120 million for them. No, sorry, 125 million they want for him. I could see a world where they maybe charge Bayern Munich a bit more, because I think that Bayer Leverkusen will allow Florian Wirtz to structure a deal better than they would allow Liverpool to structure a better deal. So where basically we pay 60 million, for example, or 70 million, whatever, and then we pay the rest off over the length of a contract that we decide to give him. So let's say we give him a 5-year deal, pay the rest off over a 5-year deal. That's what I personally think, and I think that's what's going to happen. And with Bayern Munich, you have to think, right? Xabi Alonso has just left. Jonathan Tah, one of their best centre-backs, is going on a free to Bayern Munich. Then you have to also take into consideration that they've just lost Jeremy Frimpong, one of the most important players, for very cheap, in 30 million. So they're going to want a big fee for Florian Wirtz, which is very much understandable, because, they've lost one of their best players. They're going to lose one of their best players, and they're not going to want to lose him for cheap. Do you know what I mean? And I think with Liverpool, they'll allow to structure a deal better than they would with Bayern Munich. And that's one of the reasons why I do think Liverpool are really in the race for Mr. Florian Wirtz. So this story, look, it's going to be a long-going one. I don't think this story is going to be a quick conclusion, in the sense where it's going to be done within a matter of weeks to where his decision. And I that's what I think. I think it's going to come down to basically what Mr. Florian Wirtz wants to do. Yeah, it's up to what Florian Wirtz wants to do, in my opinion. But yeah, we're already on 10 likes. Let's see if we can push to 20 ASAP. People, we've already got 18 people in the building. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure every single one of you are smashing the like button, subscribing to the channel if you want to step to the latest Liverpool content, football content, and just football stuff all in general. But let me know down below, do you think the Florian Wirtz bid is real? Now, I'm going to pull it up regarding about the bid. Now, there's a lot of sources saying that this could potentially be true regarding Florian Wirtz. Bear with me. Right, while I try and find it, this is what Paul Joyce had to say within the meantime. I'm going to try and find it, but this is what Paul Joyce did come out and give an update regarding the situation. This is what Paul Joyce had to say. So Paul Joyce had to say Florian Wirtz is at the centre stage of a transfer tug-of-war between Liverpool and Bayern Munich after Manchester City pulled out of the running for the Germany international. Now, this is massive because if you really think Paul Joyce is now starting to talk about it, so there's it's been about a week now since we've had that Wirtz bomber from David Ornstein. And now you've got Paul Joyce talking about it. And obviously saying that Liverpool are still within the race for the player, which is good, because I think when it first got announced, a lot of people were very skeptical whether it was true or not. And a lot of people were skeptical whether is the interest real? Now you got Paul Joyce, David Ornstein, Fabrazio, all coming out regarding about it. So we 100% know that Liverpool have legs within this deal. When Paul Joyce, we listen, I think we bid. Well, there was rumours yesterday that we actually have bidded for Mr. Florian Wirtz, which I think a lot of you may have saw. And the question mark is, how much do Liverpool bid for? What is I won't say the low balling prices, like how much? So we know that they want 125 million, right? You either go and try and bid for him or not. I think bids will start being taken over upwards of 100 million. I think if you bid anywhere below 100 million, they're just gonna be like, look, yeah. They're just going to put the phone down. It's not even going to be like, no, I'm going to entertain it. 100 million, maybe plus add-ons could be something, maybe 80 million. You say, look, here's 60, 80 million pounds up front. And then, I don't know, you just pay the rest of a lengthy contract. I think that's what Liverpool are trying to do. And that's why I think there's been massive interest over the past week about how Liverpool would structure this deal. I think Liverpool are currently planning right now in the sense of how do we actually try and structure this deal here? How do we go about it? Like, do we, because I don't think Liverpool will give them all up in 1 month, in a whole lump of money. And that's one of the reasons why I think we've turned our attention to an attacking midfielder that can score goals and get assists rather than going getting a striker, because you have to think about it. Newcastle wants 150 million pounds. Newcastle wants 150 million pounds for Isak, correct? They're not going to accept anything less. I think they want it all in 1 month sum, and that's why Liverpool are looking at the next best things, looking at your Florian Wirtz with a deal that potentially where you can give him £80 million plus add-ons. That's what what I think. Here we go. Wirtz to Liverpool. I mean, am I gonna have to check Twitter? No, not that I you know. But yeah, big up yourself, Jordan, mate. I hope you're well. You'd have to give me your thoughts down below about the Florian Wirtz stuff. But Lewis Steele, who I think is actually being very creditable over the past couple of months when regarding Liverpool's situation, he did come out and say this. This is what Lewis Steele had to say on the situation. And this is why I think we are 100% within the hunt and have a very strong chance of signing him. You've now got Liverpool people coming out and talking. Florian Wirtz is tempted by the idea of playing for Liverpool, and Liverpool are going to push hard for him. The money is there. I said this for some time. The money is there. The money is there. And I did a live stream. I did a live stream last night, yesterday. All right. And people were laughing at me for saying that Liverpool aren't going to bid for him. Liverpool haven't got the money. You're now seeing Liverpool people coming out and saying the money is there. The money is there. Like, we're acting like we're Ipswich Town. Like, we're acting with Ipswich Town here. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it one more time. This is a team that has broken many transfer records, people. Many transfer records. We broke our own transfer record 3 years ago for Darwin Núñez. What's to say we can't do that again? How much did Liverpool bid, please? Well, according to the reports yesterday, that we did bid somewhere around about 80 million plus, from what I saw. And a lot of people on YouTube were going mad about it. Oh my God, Liverpool are bidding for that. Like, whoa. Look, I wouldn't take too much into consideration. Apparently, we did bid upwards of 80 million. Whether that was an official bid or was in a bid to see, to try and poke the stick, you know what I mean? See much more it will take. They will sell 80 mil to clubs outside Germany, 18 mil for us, 125 for their rivals. Okay. I rate Florian. I support Germany. I don't have any problem. Give us Florian Wirtz. Yeah. Where would you say his best position? As someone who supports Germany, then where would you say his best positions are if he was to come and play for Liverpool? We get over 200 mil for finishing top of the Champions League and winning the league. People are forgetting that Liverpool are actually going to make a lot of money from this season alone. You have to think, right? We get 80 million for the Champions League. You get 60, 70 for winning the league. Then all your sponsorships, the Nike deals, it all adds up. Do you know what I mean? I reckon Liverpool are making about 150 million. LFC for life, 66. Yeah, take the 66 out your name though, mate. I'm only joking. Easy 200 mil. Yeah, I can see that. And don't forget, we didn't spend money last summer. So that all adds up. We've not spent money for 4 transfer windows. People are forgetting. 4 transfer windows since 2023. We didn't spend in that January. And then obviously this last summer we didn't spend. Like, come on now. We're not counting Federico Chiesa, as much as I love him. But the Solanke sell-on clause fucking paid for that. And then obviously Madamashvili's coming in this summer. And obviously we didn't spend in January. And now this summer it looks like we are going to spend with Frimpong already in. Kerkez. It looks from what I'm reading, Kerkez looks advanced, but Manchester City are now interested apparently. I see him at right wing in the Bundesliga on international. He played in midfield for the Germany international, for the Germany national team. As someone who's watched Florian Wirtz myself as well, I think Florian Wirtz's best position is probably that 10 role. I think if we all watched Liverpool last night, go and watch Szoboszlai's compilation last night. He was playing as a midfielder. He was springing that ball forward. He looked actually really good in that 8 role last night, and that was something new. We saw that in pre-season. If you actually remember in pre-season, people, do you remember when Szoboszlai was actually playing further deeper? He was actually playing as like a double pivot 6, and he was playing as a deep line 8 in pre-season, and it's kind of looking like Slot has kind of reverted back to that. And now you're seeing the links regarding Turkey, regarding Florian Wirtz. It's looking like Liverpool, in my opinion, Liverpool are going to get a number 10 this summer. I don't think we're getting a striker, people. I don't think we are getting a striker. I think we're getting a number 10. And yesterday was a given. He could have easily just played Szoboszlai in the 10 again yesterday, but he played him in the 8. And look at the way he was springing the ball forward. There's a reason why we've been linked with Adam Wharton, a player that can do that as well. Do you remember we want to get out the press, we want to get the ball forward? So Szoboszlai can do that because we Gravenberch, in my opinion, I don't think he's the best when it comes to actual long-range passing and accurate passing. I think McAllister and Szoboszlai are actually better than him, and that's something that I think Slot is going to take into the next season, hence why he wants that gunman number 10, because I actually also think he doesn't really rate the current crop of strikers. He wants the ready-made crop of players now. Hence why we give Virgil van Dijk and Salah those contracts. Like and subscribe. Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself for the kind words. Yeah, Szoboszlai was playing the gel role last night. It was really good to see, actually, because it's something I want to see us take into next season. And I've spoken about Arne Slot lately with his tactics. I think he's taken massive consideration last night. You go and watch Paris Saint-Germain, the way they move the ball in their midfield. With Vitinha, Fabio Ruiz, and Neves. Neves can do that role where he can play as that conductive 6 in the sitter and ping that ball forward to the left or the right or the striker. I think that, those sort of little tweaks, I think Slot is taking that into his game. There's a reason why we want high, fast tempo, good attacking fullbacks like Nuno Mendes, like your Achraf Hakimi. Hence why we've gone with the next best crop of things in your Frimpongs, in your Kerkez. You look at Nuno Mendes, he's more of the reserved fullback. I think Kerkez could be, do some similarities there. And then Hakimi is the one that's just bombing and bombing. Hence why you actually saw him score a couple of goals in the Champions League. Go and watch that Villa goal back. I think that's a perfect example, overlapping. I think you're going to see Frimpong do it. And I've been mentioning for some time, I think we're going to really go back to the right back role where we're going to start using the overlap. You saw that last night again with Conor Bradley overlapping Salah, and he just plays it across box. Harvey Elliott tap in, and Harvey Elliott was playing as a 10, right, making those direct runs. The way that Wirtz can move on the ball, I reckon he can get into that 6-yard box on the acres of space, and that's where he can cause damage. I was really watching Liverpool yesterday from a standpoint of view of how we're going to move forward. And there was a couple of aspects that I think yesterday was really, really interesting in terms of how we're going to move forward, in my humble opinion. Hence why I mentioned the Szoboszlai point of view, the Harvey Elliott, if Wirtz was to come in, make those runs, Conor Bradley making those runs. I think Frimpong's going to be doing them. Man City have joined the race for Milos Kerkez, potentially setting up a showdown with Liverpool for Bournemouth defender. I did see that. I I did see that. It's good we have Agent Sabos. Yeah, man. Come on. 23 likes already, man. I honestly appreciate it. People, thank you so much. But if I'm being truly honest, I just can't wait for next season. I genuinely cannot wait for next season because the little patterns I've noticed in yesterday's game that we've not seen this season, right? I think it's going to be really telling how Liverpool are going to be playing next year. And go and watch Gravenberch again. I thought Gravenberch was brilliant. You know, and I think Gravenberch's potential role could potentially reserve him for the rest of the season. You watch Gravenberch, right, yesterday, right? I'll probably say since February, March, we can all admit Gravenberch has looked legging some games. He's looked lethargic and he's looked tired. If he plays his new role like he was yesterday, it's kind of splitting the two centre-backs in Kwanzaa and Kanate, that kind of somewhat covers that back line a little. Right, I think we're back. I have no idea what happened there. I do apologize. But when he was kind of splitting the two centre backs yesterday, it kind of what is. I have no idea what is going on, people. I can only apologize for this. But when I was watching Gravenberch yesterday, it was kind of at times forms a little back three in some aspect. So when Frimpong goes forward, when Kerkez goes forward, you know, we're not just going to be absolutely leaving loads of space. We're going to get absolutely cut through. Do you know what I mean? And I think people need to relax on that situation. Slot is a clever manager. He's not. We're not going to be playing that Ange Postecoglou high line, loads of spacing behind, and if we concede, we fucking concede. You know, and one of Slot's best traits, in my opinion, is the way he's able to adapt and improve. Back, people, let me know if you can. Yeah, I don't know what is going on with YouTube, man. Like, it's been fine for ages, and all today, it has been shocking. I was, but yeah, let me get this tweet back up. Like I was saying, let me know if you can actually hear me fine or not. You're gonna have to let me know. Let me know. Yes. Let me know if you can hear me fine. That would obviously be appreciated. But I think, you know, yes, thank you. So I think the way that Slot's able to adapt, I think is one of the reasons why he wants a 10. It's one of the reasons why he wants a 10. I don't think he let me start that comment from G a minute about Harvey. We'll answer that in a second. Start that for you, mate. I think one of the reasons why he wants a 10 as well, he wants to improve the way he's playing. And I think as well, there's a lot of good 10s out there. You like your Kerkez, like your Wirtz. I think, in my opinion, he doesn't rate the striking department. It's in I doubt it, right? I don't know. But I reckon in Slot's head, he wants Isak. He knows he's not going to get him. Let's go and get the next best thing in the next best area, Florian Wirtz. I don't think he wants to take a risk on an Etatike, on a Sesko. Do you know what I mean? Hence why we've seen our manager, players come out and speak confidently about the summer and how excited they are. Do you really think they're going to be excited about Benjamin Sesko walking through the door? No, let's get real here. But one of the players who plays in the 10 role is Harvey Elliott. Do you think Elliott is gone? I think he is gone, mate. I'm going to be honest. I'm actually quite sad he's going. Let's actually pull up the Harvey Elliott quotes regarding Harvey, because I do think it's a good segue regarding the number 10 role. Let me pull that up regarding Harvey Elliott. Here we go. So this is the Harvey Elliott stuff. So Harvey Elliott, I think I've done it this season. It's been hard with how much I've played. I've tried as hard as I could, and whatever happens, for me, that's just a big indicator right there. It's about what's best for my career. It's about reflecting and seeing what I can do. I'm here in the moment and I'm focusing on the final game. I think that's Harvey Elliott basically bidding his farewell and him basically announcing that he is going to be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. The question mark is, how much do we get for Harvey? How much are we getting? How much are we getting? You know, I think that's a big, how much are we saying? Because, for a player that's not really played much this season, but we know he has qualities and stuff like that. Let me know. I think we're already on 2 likes away from 30 people. So that is really, really good. 50 mil. We love Harvey. Yeah, we do, man. I feel like he's a fan favorite. 45. What a decent fee. I think we'll get a decent fee for him. I've seen Newcastle, Wolves. I think Wolves is actually too much of a step down in his career. I think he should be trying to maybe go to like an Aston Villa. I think, in my opinion, or maybe go abroad. Yeah, sounds like that for me too. I wouldn't take under 40 in this market. Oh, 100%. I would not take 40 million in this market. I think we can get 40 million for Harvey Elliott. Do you know, like, Harvey Elliott's actually got pretty decent numbers for a player that's not really played much. In the Premier League, he's got 1 goal, 2 assists in 17. In the EFL Cup, he's got a goal and assist in 3 matches. In the Champions League, he's on 3 goals. So he's on 3, 4, 5. He's on nearly about 10 goals and assists for a player this season that's not really played much. And like, you look at the big moments where he stepped up. Paris Saint-Germain, where I know we didn't all be doing go through, but he stepped up. There's been times where he stepped in the cup. I really do feel for the lad, and I think the reason why it's not going to work out for him at Liverpool is because he hasn't got the physicality. You know, he's very small and agile. He's looking like not Klopp. Slot wants those like those big, athletic, combative midfielders like your Gravenberch's, long legs. You know, not trying to be all thingy here. You know, Sabozlai. You know, players that can get around the pitch. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like Harvey Elliott just doesn't really have that, unfortunately. If Klopp was here, Harvey Elliott is staying at the football club because I actually think he can play a role in the Klopp system. In the slot system, I just don't think it works out for him. But it is what it is. He won. Yeah. Look, he's completed a boyhood dream. Do you know, we're all Liverpool fans here. He's a Liverpool fan himself. You know, he came to Liverpool at the age of, what, 16, 17. You know, he's a two-time Premier League champion. He's been to a Champions League final. He's won a couple of Carabao Cups in his time. He's won an FA Cup. You know, he's done the days out at Wembley. And, you know, signing off, becoming a two-time Premier League champion, completing his boyhood dream. Not many people get to do that. You know, he's a Liverpool fan from birth. We've all seen the clips of him when he was young with his dad, you know, being a Liverpool fan, going to Anfield. Do you know what I mean? He's completed it. In some aspects, in his head, he's probably thinking, look, I've completed football, really. I've played for Liverpool. I've won them trophies. I've won the big one in the Premier League. Now it's about him personally as a player, getting that personal minutes. And I feel like he's slightly further behind in his development than other players. And there's a reason why I think we sold Fabio Carvalho as well. Fabio Carvalho was never going to work out at Liverpool. They have very similar attributes, Harvey Elliott. Very similar attributes to Fabio Carvalho. We're all questioning why, you know, Carvalho got sold. And the proof is in the pudding, you know, why Harvey Elliott hasn't played this season. What would you guys say to a sell with a buyback thing for Elliott? I don't see that, to be honest. I mean, like, who have we got a buyback clause on? And we got a buyback clause on Fabio Carvalho? Or is it a sell-on clause? I think we got a buyback on one of them. I know we got a buyback on Ryan Brewster. We're never activating that. Jesus Christ, that was the easiest 20 million ever. For any of you, man, that remember Ryan Brewster, wow. I actually thought he was going to be a talent, by the way. He is stunk at Sheffield United. And, you know, Harvey, it really is a shame. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he is a fan favourite. He gets it. You know, he's got that drive and passion. You see it when, you know, when he scores a goal or an assist, even, do you know what I mean? And when he's not even really getting minutes off the bench, you know, for a 21, 22-year-old, as a young lad in your career, if you're not getting minutes at that age, you've kind of really, you know, you've got to jump ship, really. And I think a lot of players are going to be jumping ship. This summer, in my opinion, but that's personally what I personally feel and think. Yeah, remember that even Joe said if the penny dropped with him low. I think 200-300 mil from transfers. Yeah, I mean, look, I actually did it last night on how much I think we'll earn. So I'm going to whip up a calculator here, right? Let's say, how much we're saying for Harvey, right? 40 mil? Right, I can't be bothered to add all the zeros. So I'm just doing it as this. 40 for Harvey. I think we get 60 for Darwin. That's already 100. I think Kelleher, we get 30, 45. I think we'll just say 35. Tyler Morton, I think that's another player. I think Ben Doak, I think we get 25 million, 30 million, give or take. That's 170. I think Diaz or Jota will be gone. I think one of them's gone. And let's just add... Right, I think they'll both go for around about similar price. Let's just say 50 mil. I think in the centre-back areas, Kwanzaa, by the way, Florian Pletterberg did tweet about Kwanzaa. I think we're making easy to 220, in my opinion. Let me know down below. Do you think 220 is a reasonable, you know, fee to get back? Um, um, Simicast 25 million. Oh yeah, I forgot Simicast. I don't think we're getting 25 mil for Simicast. I reckon. Who else could go? Let me know who else could go. Who else could be leaving? Who else could be leaving? Who else do you think will be leaving the football club? But I think it's interesting. Right, we're back. We are back. I do apologize. Gomez, could he be sold? Canate, Diaz and Jota. We have a net spend of 40 mil for many seasons, but I don't mind once we improve. Yeah. What I want to quickly go over, if you're talking about players that's going to leave, let's go to the Liverpool wage bill. And one of the reasons why I think Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes got brought into Liverpool is to bring down the wage bill. That's my personal opinion. One of the big reasons why they actually did get brought in, because I think the wage bill was actually getting too high for FSG's liking. So this is Liverpool's wage bill, right? Any other players I think we'll be leaving. So all these players down here are all going to be leaving. Kai Gordon, man. I feel sorry for that lad. Back in what, 2021? Or was it 2022? 2022, I think he scored in the FA Cup against Norwich. I think it was Norwich. And I remember watching him. I was really excited to see how this kid's career and potential was going to go at Liverpool. And it hasn't worked out. He's obviously going to be leaving on a free. Harvey Davis. Calvin Ramsey, man, has been in the clubs for 3 years and not played. He's been on a couple of loans. Yaros is going to be leaving. So we might need to look at maybe another backup goalkeeper. Unless Yaros signs. Because with Kelleher's going to be gone. Like, we all know that. Like, I think if Liverpool loan him, we might as well just sell him. Just get a couple of million if we can. Tyler Morton, his contract's up to this year. So, shit, we're not even going to get any money for him. I swear we got offered like 10 mil last. Bloody hell, YouTube today, man. I can only, yeah, it's, bro, I don't know. I don't know why it's been so bad today. Like, I can't understand. Yeah. FSG and Liverpool City have apparently been approached. Yeah, I did see that. And yeah, Curtis Jones, he's only got 2 years. There's a decision to be made there. Bacic has got some time left. Nat Phillips, man, Jesus. He's going to be gone. Kwanzaa's got 4 years. Yeah, Harvey. Endo's got 2 years. I think he'll just see out his contract. Big decision needs to be made on Diaz this summer, people. 2 years left. Are you sticking or are you twisting? Do you know what I mean? 2 years left. We can't be doing this whole contract situation with players. Do you know what I mean? According to reports in Germany, mate, there was alleged of a bid. Now, whether it was an official bid, then you've got Malarashvili, obviously he's coming in. Kanati's 1 year left, man. This is the big one. Fucking hell. Tsimikas, I think, will be gone. Bradley will keep. Gomez, do you think he just sees out his contracts at Liverpool? Or if Liverpool get maybe a decent fee, do they accept? So Bozo's got 3. And yeah, all these players have 3 years left. Allison's got 2 years left. Robertson's got a year left. So he's probably going to be gone next summer. And obviously, yeah, you can fuck off. And obviously, these two re-signed. But I heard 80 mil bid. They want 90 to 95. Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah, bro, it's been jarring. Yeah, I heard the exact same, mate, regarding about the bid. I think forget Bayern Munich for a minute. Just push Bayern Munich at the side. We'll come to them in a minute. I think what Bayer Leverkusen will say to Liverpool is, you give us £80 million right now, 80 million. You can do the rest in installments. You pay that maybe next year, or you pay it over the next 2. That's what I think will happen if Florian Wirtz is obviously to come. We can give them a player. Let's not forget, didn't they have an interest in Tyler Morton, Leverkusen? Now, whether the new head coach, you have to think, with the player situation, I think it's difficult to potentially do like player swaps, because you have to think they've not confirmed their new head coach. So we as an outsider, we don't know what Bayer Leverkusen wants in terms of like player wise. Do you know what I mean? And for example, if we say something like, yo, you can have Tyler Morton, the new head coach might not want them. Do you know what I mean? Harvey Elliott could potentially be using the deal. I won't be surprised at that. Maybe a centre back, they're losing Jonathan Tyre in Hickpie, I reckon, could be on the move this summer. I won't be surprised if Liverpool tried to throw a centre back in there. My question is, why has Florian Wirtz not decided if he had just chose a side, this whole saga would be over? I think it's difficult, to be honest with you, mate. I think there's a lot more in it. I don't think it's necessarily just down to has Florian Wirtz decided. Look, we're talking about a big month. This will be the biggest transfer of the summer. If Florian Wirtz of the summer, it's the biggest transfer of the summer if Florian Wirtz comes. So I think it's going to be one of those ones where it's going to take time. I don't think it's necessarily just going to be, we're going to wake up tomorrow morning, Wirtz is going to be, Wirtz, here we go. Now, we know how Liverpool can move quickly, of course, but Real Madrid, Bayern, Liverpool all want him. Big decision. He only starts for Liverpool. I think he starts for all 3. I think Bayern Munich, you put Wirtz maybe out on the left. You put Musiala in the 10, and obviously at least on the right, and obviously Kane striker. For Real Madrid, yeah, Real Madrid is a bit more difficult because they kind of play Belling. They don't really play an out-and-out 10. They kind of play like a more of a false 9 than 2 strikers. whether maybe Bellingham drops back and does a midfield with Sherman and Valverde. But then is Trent going to play in midfield for them? I don't know. Yeah, he definitely starts for Liverpool, though. 110%. Bayern attackers have lot. I think if Bayern Munich signs him, man, yeah. Just give him the next however many titles. Like, you're not going to see a Leverkusen or a Dortmund win it for any time soon. If they sign Florian Wirtz, that front four of Elise, Wirtz, Musiala and Kane. But then I think with Bayern, I think they've got a lot of business to do. I think they need a couple of defenders. I also think they need to sort out the contract situation. What's the update about this? I mean, the update is apparently Liverpool put in an alleged bid. Liverpool I've got the money to pay for him, and I think, in my opinion, the next step of this whole is Liverpool really going for him. I mean, yeah, mate. I don't see them paying 150. I don't. I personally, this is my prediction. This is not from what I've not been told by anyone. This is a prediction of mine. If I was to predict the Wirtz saga, I reckon Bayern Munich put in a bid in the next week. I think Bayern Munich make the first move, and I think Liverpool are waiting for Bayern Munich's first move, see what the situation kind of is there. Then I think Liverpool come in. That's what I think. I think Liverpool are waiting for Bayern to make the first real move. I've got a weird feeling that's going to be the case. I do think Liverpool will make an official bid. I'll be shocked if we don't make an official bid, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, we've got 50 people inside, man. Let's see if we can push that to 50 likes. We're on 34. Liverpool are waiting for Wirtz to tell them he's leaving Germany. I think Liverpool know he wants to, not that he wants, that he's open to leaving. I just don't see Liverpool flying at his representatives to Blackpool to have a couple of hour conversation about him. Slot allegedly spoke to him on the phone and all this, and have such a strong interest in him if he didn't really want to leave. Do you know what I mean? We know how Liverpool move. They don't like wasting time. Do you know what I mean? I just don't see a world where we do all that just for him to be like, nah, I actually have no interest in coming to England, and I'm going to Bayern Munich. We did all this for Zubimendi, but I think we're talking. This is bigger than Zubimendi. The thing is with that, we're flying his people into the country, and we're talking about we're talking about Florian Wirtz here. Like, it's not like we're talking about flipping buying Liam Delap. Do you know what I mean? But I do get where you are like somewhat coming from, though. Big up yourself, Andrew, mate. But I do. Bellingham, yeah. We've been here before, haven't we? This first deal feels a bit weird. If his preferred destination is Bayern, why are we still in the race? Otherwise, there is something else we don't know is going on. Exactly. Because if Liverpool knew he preferred Bayern, you would have seen Liverpool pulled out. Like Man City. Man City pulled out. Now, I actually personally think the reason Manchester City pulled out the race is not because Florian Wirtz rejected him. It's not because Florian Wirtz said, no, fuck you, bye, or he's going to Germany or he's going to Liverpool. I don't think it's anything to do with Florian Wirtz as itself. I think Manchester City are in a similar situation to us 2 years ago. Do you remember when Liverpool were highly interested in Bellingham, right? And then we pulled away from the Bellingham deal. We brought Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Endo. We decided to went with the 4 players instead. And look how that's worked out. It's worked out wonders, and it worked brilliant. Manchester City need to rebuild their midfield. Take away Rodri, they need to rebuild their full midfield. They need to go and get De Bruyne replacement. They need to go and get maybe a 2-8 because we know Bernardo Silva's falling off. Kovacic is falling off. Mateus Nunes is not good enough. I think Man City have looked at it and thought, is it really worth us spending 125 million on just one player when we can go and get maybe a couple of players like your Gibbs Whites, like your Reinders, like a couple of other players they've been linked with? I think that's the reason why they've pulled out the race. Very similar to the Jude Bellingham situation a couple of years ago. That's just my opinion. Hopefully we move quick with Kerkez now that Man City is in the mix. Oh yeah, we should. All right, we'll bring up the Kerkez stuff in a second. Wirtz won a treble and has helped team within club level of favourites to come to Liverpool. Wirtz not going to Madrid. No way they can afford him. They are prioritising all the positions. And I think Real Madrid now, they're in a situation they prefer to do the free contract situation stuff. Alaba, Rudiger, Mbappe, now Trent Alexander-Arnold, potentially Ibrahim Konate. I think Jude Bellingham was just one of those ones where at the time they needed that bigger Galactico signing. In my opinion, that's one of the reasons why. Germany is a boring league. IMO Wirtz already won that league. He should come to the Prem. Yeah, but I feel like it's different with Germany players. Like they like to go to the biggest club in Germany. They don't really like to fully move out. It's a bit like Italy in some aspects. Hence why you've seen a lot of the Italians go to like Napoli, Juventus, Milan, Roma, and all that. In my humble opinion, I think he's a bit overrated, like Havertz was. I prefer Turkey, to be honest. I watched a lot of both. Yeah, man, we can't wait to see him in a red shirt, of course. Do you think we get a striker and Wirtz after a fullback? I don't think we get a striker. I do not think we get a striker. My predictions I discussed on stream. This is my opinion. I personally think this is how it's going to go. I think, obviously, Frimpong, tick. Kerkez, I think will get done. I then think it's going to be one of the 3 players. Simmons, Cherky, Wirtz. One of those 3. Then I think we sign a winger. Whether that's someone like, if the Rodrigo was to leave, if Nico Williams with his release clause, Semenyo at Bournemouth. I'm just naming a couple of wingers that Liverpool have been linked with. If we will get a 10 and a winger. So false 9, then yeah. I think Wirtz will play in the false 9. I think if Florian Wirtz is to come, he plays in the false 9 position. That's what I personally think and feeling, from being honest. Let me just go to my bookmarks, because the stuff regarding Kerkez, a couple of people have mentioned it in the chat. I am going to come back to Wirtz, but a lot of people have been asking about Kerkez. I believe Kerkez is still in advanced talks, like Fabrazio confirmed. But according to Mark Douglas, Manchester City have joined the race for Miles Kerkez, potentially setting up a showdown with Liverpool for Bournemouth defender. I think Liverpool are way comfortably ahead. Look, I wouldn't worry too much about this. You know, Kerkez is a quality player. I wouldn't worry too much. I still think he will become a Liverpool player. However, like I mentioned, Manchester City, in my opinion, instead of spending 125 million on one player, they want to go and rebuild the squad with that money. Very similar situation to Bellingham. That's just my opinion, hence why you're going to see them linked with a dozen of players. We will take on PSG thing. He's coming to join his best mate Sob. Look, if Kerkez doesn't happen, I'll actually be shocked, because this guy has actually been flirting with Liverpool himself. He's liked Liverpool posts. He's liked some Boz Life posts, some of his tweets, his Instagram captions. Like, he's actually been tagged, like, in pictures of Liverpool shirts on Instagram stories, and he's actually seen it on his official account. He's liked posts of Liverpool saying, "Here we go for Frimpong." Yeah. Liverpool and Kerkez have already agreed personal terms, so there is no chance for Manchester to steal this. Look, I don't think. I think now Liverpool are at the price bit where it's about how much Kerkez is going to cost. I think they've done the personal terms. They've done all that situation. I don't think Liverpool are really too stressed regarding that situation. From reports and stuff, I personally feel and think that it's coming down to the money situation now. Do you think he can play like Firmino? Will play like Klopp inside forwards? I think what you're going to see Florian Wirtz do is, to quickly answer your question. This City guy posted is a City fan. To answer your quick question, where do I see him playing? I think he can drift off to the left. I think he could play as a deep 10. I think he could play as a high line attacking 10. I think he can play as a number 9. I think, right, we'll go and watch the Harvey Elliott goal back. Do you know when Conor Bradley overlapped, cuts it across box, and then Harvey Elliott sprinted into the box and scored? You're going to see that a lot next season. I think Wirtz is going to be in that 6-yard penalty box, outside it, drifting around the D. And that's where he's going to be causing his damage. If he is to obviously respectfully, come. But people, we have over 50 people in the house. Let's see if we can push towards 50 likes. It's very much appreciated. If any of you haven't subscribed, make sure you are subscribing to stay up to date with the latest Liverpool content and football content overall. This team is getting built around Salah, hint Salah signing VVD. Liverpool want to win for the next 2 years. You have to think, Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk are not signing a 2-year extension just because they love Liverpool, because they want to win trophies for Liverpool. They've embedded into the slot project. They see the vision that he wants to go with the next couple of years. Because otherwise, VVD could have started off to PSG and won a load of titles. Could have gone to Bayern Munich. Could have gone to somewhere in Spain. Same with Mo Salah. Or they could have gone to Saudi Arabia and a load of bag. But they decided to stay at Liverpool. Why? Because I think they like what the project is going to be for the next couple of years. Salah vice captain going forward. Yeah, I mean, he was the captain yesterday, wasn't he? So I assumed it was him. If Robertson was still going to be a regular starter, we know Robertson's not going to be a regular starter next season. I think it would have been Andy Robertson. Is Salah really captain material, though? That's another topic for another day. Not seen Wirtz. I don't watch the Germany League. I would rather Alvarez or Isak than a false 9, I'd be honest. Yeah, that's understandable. I know a lot of people haven't watched the Germany League too much. But yeah, Isak or thingy for me, look, I would love. I love both of them players, Isak and Alvarez. I just think Alvarez is the one out of the lot that's just very much unattainable. I've seen a lot of people say why they want Alvarez. Of course, understandably so. He left Man City a year ago. People have to understand, a lot of South Americans' dream is to play in Spain. Whether that be in Atletico Madrid, Barca, Real Madrid, right? We've seen Man City players, especially like your Bernardo Silvas, your Alvarez, complain about the British weather and stuff like that. And I'm not saying it's solid down to British weather, but that South Americans grow up on your Atletis, your Barcelonas, your Real Madrids of these worlds. And that's no thing. They don't want to play for Liverpool and other clubs, but I just think they're destined to play for these big Spanish clubs. Do you know what I mean? Hence why you've seen Diaz, South American lad, Barcelona fan growing up. His dad has even said, "Oh, it's his dream to go to Barcelona one day." Do you know what I mean? Leads by example, first in trainer, role model. Yeah. Do you know, if it wasn't Salah, do you want to know who I actually would give the captain's armband to? I actually think Kanate's got captain's material, but then at the same time, he's got bozo moments in him. I reckon McAllister. He has 127 million release clause. If we're paying 100 million, why not? Another 27 million can ask him. Yeah, of course. Did Romano confirm the Wirtz bid? No. Romano is basically only going to confirm it if there's an official bid. A lot of football clubs, well, a lot of people don't realize, a lot of football clubs bid for players even if it's not an official bid. We've seen Liverpool bid for loads of players and it's not been an official bid where it's come out in the media. But there was reports, like I think Andrew was saying in the chat about 20 minutes ago, he saw it as well. A lot of people have been saying about the Wirtz, bid. But yeah. My favorite player is Mac 10, and I can see him. I can see that. Body good shout. Things are shifting towards us, boys. Don't be surprised if we get Wirtz. Knew he claim he tempted by the NFC project. Guessing why City left the building. I've got my, like I said, mate. If you want to rewind, about 10 minutes ago, I explained why I think City moved away. I just think it's a very simple situation. It's like our Bellingham situation. Man City need a rebuild in a lot of areas. They'd rather spend that money elsewhere on rather than one player. Paul Joyce and David is Liverpool. Yep. Fabrizio did confirm that Liverpool met with Wirtz's parents. Yes, he did. He did indeed. But yeah. We just the biggest club in England, and City wish they were us. No oil money can make you big, just rich. God. But yeah, we are the biggest club in England, man. Of course, we are. City is in deep water, and I hope they don't make Champions League. What is the Premier League table? Where are they in the table? And that's one of the reasons why Isaac's not going to come, guys, because Newcastle are going to get Champions League. And right, so only one of them is making it. Man City have got 2 games in hand. They've got 2 games left. They've got Bournemouth and Fulham. Man City will win at least one of them. Probably maybe nick a point as well. 4 points. That takes them to 69. That's going to be enough. I reckon it goes, obviously, Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle, Man City. And Aston Villa. I reckon Chelsea and Forest will draw. Imagine if Chelsea miss out again. Oh, please. We need it. If they lose tonight, they don't get champs. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Man City are playing tonight, aren't they? I don't think they make it. Should tell Canate, sign by August or sell him to PSG. Fuck Real Madrid. Yeah, fuck Real Madrid, man. Like, nah. We will be there next season. Hate watching. They lose against Bournemouth. They fucking awful. Lol. Jota is... He does not like Man City like everyone else. Come on, lad. But 60 people. If every one of you can smash that like and subscribe, it can push it out to more and more people. We're on that road to 900 subscribers, and we are 45 away. Honestly, I do appreciate everyone just watching, of course, as well. Bro, how cool is my LFC Ultra pick? Yo, that's a fucking sick pick, you know. Did you make that? That is actually a badass pick. It's funny how that people say Manchester United are the bigger club, but Liverpool are the most successful. I mean, it's what's the difference. If we are the most successful, then we are the biggest club in England. A lot of people base it off a lot of things, though, mate. A lot of people will base it off trophies, fan base. For me, put it on full screen. What do you mean by full screen? I don't know what you mean by trying to make it full screen. I don't think I can make it full screen. Yeah, mate. Honestly, I appreciate it. It's all right. I just... okay. Just a heads up, lad. The notification for your live don't go out. I actually don't know why that isn't a thing. Like YouTube, I will be honest, it is shit for like notifications and stuff. Like honestly, I have notifications on for a lot of channels, right? Like proper channels I watch, like proper channels. I don't think I've seen a YouTube notification for probably about a year. I'm gonna be honest, like I've got an iPhone. I don't think I've seen a YouTube notification pop through on my phone in about a year. Like genuinely, and I have notifications on for like loads of people, so people can see my pick. Yeah, but I don't think it lets me do it. I think if you just zoom in, but yeah, biggest club means that's trophies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but in my opinion, biggest club is based off trophies, and we have the most. Okay, right, bro. What's your thoughts on Wirtz? James Pearce doubled down in a positive way. Also, 2 English clubs were positioned. Only one club would go battle by. Then it was known Wirtz went AXA and spoke Slot. The only thing I know about that last part of your sentence, that he spoke to Slot. Now, I've seen a couple of people saying he went to AXA. It was his parents that went out. A lot of people thought Florian Wirtz himself went out. A lot of Wirtz went out. It was his parents. I do see, for some and not for others, favoritism of YouTube. Then City left the transfer. I think Bayern are scared. We have Frimpong, his best mate, 4D chess. Could it be 4D chess? I mean, I think that is definitely something to probably take into consideration, mate. Of course, I think it's going to come down really to who blink first, or whoever just says, fuck this, I'll give them what they want. But I think what Liverpool are doing in two minds, are in two situations. This is my opinion. How are we going to structure the deal? 2, we'll see what Bayern does first. We'll then come in with an improved offer that we know that will get accepted. Because if we come in with a bid, right, and Bayern come in, do you know what I mean? And like they will know roughly what they would want after that bid, if that makes any sense. Frimpong is so bubbly, he's saying he's gonna say, yo, Florian, oh my days. We got a parade soon. Come on, bro, sign. Yeah, man, the parade is in what day is it today? Tuesday. 6 days, man. I can't wait. I am gonna be uploading. I might do a parade vlog. I might do a vlog and upload it. Let me just check Twitter on my phone, see if there's any, breaking news. You never know. And Lewis Steeler said something. He's given an opinion. Darwin stuff. I'm going to star that. We're going to come back to Florian Wirtz in a second. I think there is an auction going on with Wirtz. The highest bidder wins. You need to check out some Frimpong stuff. Is ADHD Ball of Energy? Yeah, I've seen. Info. Liverpool are pushing hard for the Florian Wirtz, and the Premier League is a really attractive option for him. Sky Sports. Is that Sky Sports in England or Sky Sports in Germany? He'll definitely tell him to come. So I think, is it Anfield Edition? Yes, we're on Anfield Edition already. So Anfield Edition, this is what Lewis Steele said in a YouTube video. Now, some guy's saying here, post the full quote. But this is what he said. I have a sneaky feeling with this one that the noise is positive. So are people, starting to believe, that this is the case? Oh man, Pepe Reina, man, what a ledge. Yeah, Jabi Alonso wants Wirtz. Of course he does. Of course they're going to try and link that. Like, come on. Frimpong will sign his contract today. Here we go. Confirmed from Fabrazio Romano. Yeah, he did tweet that, didn't he? Oh, man. Pepe Reina, man. Streets won't forget if you remember him when he was at Liverpool. Yeah, what a rat. Bug off. Where is that I saw about Frimpong? Yeah. Jeremy Frimpong will sign his contract at Liverpool in the next 24 hours. Deal confirmed. Dutch right back completed his first and second part of his medical with formal steps and announcements to follow. Here we go. Confirmed. I reckon Frimpong might be on the last game of the season. James Pearce has not shut it down either, which usually means it's closer. Yeah. I feel like James Pearce is like the villain in some aspects, where is as long as James Pearce doesn't say fuck all, there is hope. Blah, blah, blah. It is all players' interviews. They say want to play in the Prem. What's your thoughts on Trent and Summer 66? What need egotistical prick? My thoughts, mate. I mean, I've done a lot of videos on him. I just don't like quick rundown. I don't like the way he's gone about it. Leaving on a free, said it means more. Local lad, all this and that. And then to go to Real Madrid, chatting behind our backs for 2 years. Yeah. James Pearce is like my name, villain. Oh, God. I can't lie, I do actually like that profile pic. I would ask for you to send it there, but I feel bad. Because I actually do like that profile pic. That profile pic is actually cold. But I'm going to go to my bookmarks because I did bookmark some stuff that I saw this morning. So Florian Plattenberg. He came out and spoke about Jarrell Kwanzaa. Oh, some Etikite stuff. 100 mil. 100 mil, yeah, no buy. Yeah, Jeremy from was successful medical. What was this I saw? Yeah, so Saudi clubs are continuing to push for Darwin Núñez. A summer move is absolutely possible. There's also been inquiries for Diego Jota and Luis Diaz. If departure happens up front, a new striker is a part of the plan. Darwin Núñez is going to be sold. Let's be real. Breaking news, Rodrigo agent. Is that true? I don't know. You tell me. I've not seen that. How are you? I'm brilliant, bro. Okay, I hope you're well as well, bro. In all good, bro. Núñez will leave. Exactly. Link. Yeah, what's the link? At least post the link in the chat. But where does Darwin go? I reckon there's two situations: Atletico Madrid and Saudi for Darwin. And I reckon we get somewhere of. Did you see my community tab? No, mate, because I literally woke up, went to the gym. Came back, had breakfast, and I had to set up my live stream. I've literally barely been on Twitter. I've literally had a scroll. The only time I've been on YouTube is literally just live stream right now. But you have to let me know what you put. Yeah, I think Darwin is gone. There's not a world where we keep him, because otherwise, why is he not playing? I think that's a simple aspect. I think Slot's actually frustrated with him. You've actually seen a couple of times where Slot has spoke about Darwin and his attitudes. You know what I mean? Núñez will go Saudi. You offer big money. Do you remember when Saudi took Henderson, Fabinho? They took another player as well in 2023. And we actually were shocked of how much money we actually made back off. We made 15 mil off Hendo. We made 40 off Fabinho. At the time, his legs were obviously gone. Oh, I miss Fab, man. Though. Yeah, Darwin is gone. He's gone. There's not a world where I think Darwin Núñez can stay at Liverpool Football Club. Hi, I just subscribed to your channel. Thank you, mate. Big up yourself. We'll be going to the parade. I will be going to the parade, mate. I will be there. Bro, my comments coming through now. There's a specific tweet on X. Yeah. Just copy and paste it into the chat. But yeah, look, I did say, I've said it for a while, I think I won't be shocked if all three maybe go. Jota and Diaz. You know, this summer, people are thinking, oh yeah, it's all going to be incomings. You know, Wirtz, Frimpong, Cherky, Kerkez, all these names. There's going to be a lot of outgoings. I'm telling you now, there's going to be YouTube blocks links. Watch your Twitter. Put your Twitter in the chat, and I'll DM you. And then I can put it up. Put your, and I'll message you. But yeah, so I think it's going to be a mad summer in terms of outgoings and up front. Also, he did tweet about Jarrell Kwanzaa, which I think is interesting. Understanding several Bundesliga clubs and Bro, I haven't got Twitter. Breaking. Florian Wirtz has informed Leverkusen he wants to leave Liverpool. Hughes has been made aware. Bid expected in the coming hours. Fabrazio Romano. What? Where is this? Something is... What? Hold up. Give me a minute, people. I'm going to check Fabrizio's page. Let me check his page. Nah, no way, you're joking. Is this true? Nah. I reckon he's lying. This is a prank. Nah, this is a prank. Although I've just seen on Twitter, hearing Wirtz is seriously considering the proposal put on the table by LFC, the idea of playing in the new league and experiencing more. Yeah, what is the source? Anfield sector. Anfield sector. Anfield sector. Liverpool will do the all to sign Wirtz. Where's this about Fabrizio then?
They are really pushing hard to get him, and obviously the Premier League isn't really.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, people pushing hard. Where's this about Fabrizio then? So where's this about? Was it a fake account? Unless it's a fake Anfield sector account. Fucking trolling. I just looked. You do right. You know Anfield sector, Anfield edition, Anfield watch, and all these things. They're not journalists. They just put out news of what journalists have said. So let's say Fabrizio puts, "Oh yeah, Liverpool have bidded for Wirtz." They will repost it onto their page. That's they're not journalists. They're Liverpool sources to like repost information. Yeah, it was probably a fake Anfield sector account, mate. That's why you always check the blue tick and their followers. Hi, what's the latest on Kerkez? Liverpool are in advanced talks, and Man City apparently allegedly want him. But I've got a weird feeling we're going to hear something in the next 2 days. Come back to me in 2 days. I guarantee you in the next 2 days we hear something big on Wirtz. And everyone's going ballistic because Wirtz has posted on his Instagram. Like, what? I know, I actually thought that was real for a sec. But then when I saw the Richard Hughes bit, I thought, oh, why would he mention Richard Hughes? The only ones you trust is Joyce, Unsi, and Romano. I think there's a couple of people you can actually trust. I won't say it's just them. In my opinion, like, to be fair, but Romano, he's been very good on the Frimpong situation. Do you know what I mean? However, we're 2 subs away from 560. Smash them likes, people. Subscribe to the channel. I think we're on 50 likes, which is nice. Melissa Reedy. To be honest, I don't really go for her when it comes to news. I sometimes like to read her articles, like regarding information about like on like games and stuff. But when it comes to transfers, I don't really pay attention to her. If I'm being honest, like I don't really. It's like Sky Sports. You know, if Sky Sports put out like now, oh yeah, Liverpool, I put in a bid for Wirtz or whatever. It's like I'm gonna share this on screen. So this is what everyone's going ballistic about. Florian Wirtz posted this on his Instagram, and everyone's thinking, "Oh my god, oh my god!" Like, relax. His lad's post. What is detail about this picture? He's got a sun emoji, a recharged battery in a pool. He's probably not even in Germany. He's probably in like the islands somewhere, just relaxing. Season's done, in it. Choice is Edward's guy. He came alive when Edwards came back. She's reliable. She never puts things out of that have been wrong with her. Joyce Pierce. Sometimes they put stuff out. Yep. Let me just reply back to my mate. You know, I want shirky thoughts. I did. Did I see something regarding that? Was it on live transfer news? I wouldn't be surprised if Kelleher goes to Villa. Watch out for that one. Kelleher and Aston Villa. With him leaving. People need to just relax on this, man. Like, you know. Where is it? I actually did see. Wow, Roger is back. Oh, by the way, this is fake about Jurgen Klopp with Roma. Brentford's Thomas Frank has been placed on top shortlist. Yeah, Frimpong has passed medical. Yeah, I think this is what it is. So yeah, Man United joined the race to sign Ryan Cherki from Lyon. I think if that progresses, that's going to be really interesting, because if that story, let's say, it's going to be really interesting. I feel like there's so much going on. Do you know what I mean? Josie Poole. Multiple sources are now saying Wirtz is going to Liverpool. A little bit of the truth is in there. Maybe. I agree. He would do well at Villa and said to be, and Irishman go, but I understand. Yeah, man. Don't think City Brothers bothers us. Kerkez at FC, seeing what happen. It will. Yep. I would have kept Keller and not brought him Mandavanash-Vili. But the thing is, Keller's got 1 year left on his contract, and for a player that I think we can get £40 million for, it's worth the punt. The Insta pick of Wirtz is Paul. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I get you. I get you now, because of the pool isn't. Yep. Oh God, what do you think? Wirtz to Bayern or Liverpool? If I was a betting man, I would say it's 50-50 right now. You know, yesterday I was kind of more 70-30, 60-40. But I think it could be 50-50. I really, really do. I really do think it could be 50-50 at this sort of stage now that Manchester City have pulled out of the race for him, you know. But it's going to be interesting with the Turkey situation where if Man United, let's say, progress in that sort of a deal, do Liverpool then come in and, you know, do something? But then you'd think for 25 million, just get it done. So hence why I do think that is Solidarity our first choice. Prem is more appealing than the boring Farmers. Yeah. Hey, people say Farmers League. I mean, PSG in a final, to be fair. I actually don't. The thing is, in terms of the competitiveness, the Bundesliga is boring. But I do like to watch some. I do watch a bit of the Bundesliga from time to time because I did actually really enjoy watching Leverkusen, like especially last year. Biggest club versus biggest club in Germany. Nah, I don't want a bigger, mate. Come on. I just want this Wirtz drama to end seriously so we can move on. But mate, what happens if he comes in? You know, come on. I think people need to be patient with this sort of thing. Like, this is not going to be like Frimpong where it's just a 30 mil release clause. Boom, he's ours. We're talking about £125 million of a player. One of the biggest, if not probably the biggest transfer possibly this summer. It's going to take time. You know, I think Liverpool are trying to get the deals they want done so they can work on fully on this. If we get Wirtz, bro, we will play 4-2-4. We're not big for a striker. I still think we'll bring in a forward because Darwin Núñez will leave. Because Darwin Núñez will leave. Therefore, that's what I think. However, I do need to go to the toilets. I'll be back in literally 2 seconds, people. We're on 51 likes. Let's see if we can aim for 55 to 60 by the time I get back. And we're 2 subs away from 860. So let's see if we can push towards that by the time I get back. Hold up. City are gonna, bro, they're completely out. He's told them. No, apparently it's just, but yeah, Man City are out. So I'll be back in literally just a second. Let's see if we can achieve those targets. 1 second. Right, I am back. Yep, it is literally just Liverpool and Bayern in the race. Although, you know, some alleged to believe that Real Madrid could be in the race. Like, Real Madrid just sod off, man. Like, actually just fuck off, like respectfully. Do you know that kid that copies homework in school? Like, do you remember like when I finished year 11 a couple of years ago? When I was in year 11 a couple of years ago, there was this one kid that always used to copy my homework, like on the table at maths. He always used to like do this. That's like Real Madrid with our fucking transfer shit. They're just fucking copying us. Hoyson. There was a link with Kerkez, flipping Wirtz now. They also want our players. It's like, just come on, man. Mr. Bean meme lol when Mr. Bean looks at the guy's test. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That is literally Real Madrid. Like, do your own business, man. Like, come on. Like, of course they're gonna want a quality player like him, but like, just leave us alone. Leave us alone. Leave us alone, like, respectfully, you know? You know what? I'm going to set up a poll. And I'm going to see what people think. I'm going to do a poll. Start a poll. That's Isaac. Oh. Isaac. That's start poll. That's been a massive talking point. Let's see what the people want. Is it Isaac, Wirtz, or Alvarez? Let me know in the poll. Who do you want? Do you think we get a midfielder? Only if a midfielder maybe leaves. Wharton. They got no scouts. They just use what we're doing. If you keep doing what's the damage to it in the transfer market, list of all transfers. I'm confident Wirtz will go to Liverpool. I would say it's 65. Yeah. I think he will move to Bayern 90%. Okay. So, but the poll is based off what you would prefer. Would you prefer Wirtz, Isaac, or Julian Alvarez? A lot of people have been, speaking about. Let me know who you would, who you'd like at the 3. Me, Isaac, for me, but Isaac is unattainable. I am. So what? It's looking quite of a split so far. Cast your votes. Oh, Isaac and Wirtz on 30. Yeah, Wirtz is winning the race. 21% only saying Alvarez. There's a lot of people in the chat earlier that wanted Alvarez. They're going to sell Musiala. It won't work. I think how they would line up would be Wirtz left and that left roll. Musiala, Elise, Kane. That's how I would imagine it would probably go for them. I think. Be glad to help. I would have said Isaac, but want crazy money. Let me know who you'd like. I'm intrigued to see what the people want. Wirtz is winning it. There's a lot of people that want Isaac and Alvarez, and they're not actually winning the vote. So we'll leave that running for 10 minutes. We're on 54 likes. Let's see if we can keep pushing towards 60. We're now one away from 500. No, not 500. 860. Who will be the 860th subscriber? I'd be glad to help. If we can get both of them, wow, would be amazing. I mean, we'll have to win the lottery, mate. Isaac, no chance, but it's the dream. Thoughts on Rodrigo, possibly? Rodrigo's an interesting one. Look, there's been rumours regarding Rodrigo. Obviously, I know he's been linked with Arsenal. You missed my post earlier. What was that, mate? You have to re-put it. But I don't... It all depends on Rodrigo, really. I think Real Madrid are that type of club. They'll sell a player if he wants to go. It would be nice to have one of their fucking players for once. But unlikely, I think. And Nico Williams, me personally, I don't actually rate Nico Williams. Ideal scenario would be, yeah, you missed my comment. Yeah, you have to let me know. Wirtz, if possible, would define an era. He would. He's a game-changing signing. And Isaac would be crazy money, but I've got my second choice, Wirtz. That is good. Good. Let me just but yeah, Isaac. Again, I've given my reasons why Liverpool won't sign Isaac. I don't think it's down to the player. I don't think it's down to anything, really. I think it's mainly down to one situation. In the situation regarding of Newcastle would want the money all up front. They would want it all up front. With Bayer Leverkusen, I think they're willing to kind of split a deal. 80 million, 60 million next summer or the summer after. With Newcastle, I think they're like, look, yo, we'll sell Isaac, but we want 150 in one, or it's sod off. Because he's still got a couple of years left on his contract. And you have to think, next year, Barcelona, if they can keep resolving their money situation, Barcelona are going to be interested. But Kane's getting to know older. Bayern Munich will be there again. I'm sure PSG will have an interest. You know, you're going to have a lot more clubs next year having an interest in him. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's probably what Newcastle are probably thinking. I reckon he goes next year, Isaac. I don't think he goes this year. Or it depends, to be fair, because if the project at Newcastle keeps going, why leave? You know, they just won a trophy. They've got Champions League football again. They're back on track. Do you know what I mean? And Isaac, yep, top striker. We are looking at Cisco, apparently, according to David Kopp. I don't think we're getting Sesko, if I'm being honest. I can actually be fairly relaxed about us not signing Benjamin Sesko, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, Manchester United are interested in Turkey. But yeah, this is what David Copper's put. Exclusive. Benjamin Sesko is keen on a move to Liverpool, and talks took place as far as back as last year. Liverpool are still in contact. It's believed 100 million euros fee can be reduced. There are a number of clubs interested. My opinion, I reckon he goes to Chelsea. I don't think he will go to Liverpool. I think people can be relaxed regarding that situation. You know, I won't be too worried. That's just my opinion. Thank God, unless it can be reduced. No, I just don't want him in full stop. You seen the Trent clip? I did, yeah. Should we actually have a look at the Trent clip again? For people that have not seen it, thoughts I prefer a moment. Oh, no. Just thoughts I prefer him over Etitike. He's got 13 goals in the Bundesliga. And that's a league with high line. You get many opportunities. No, we've been here before, guys, with Darwin Núñez. Let me try and find the Trent Alexander-Arnold clip, because that was hilarious. If you've not seen it, this was the Trent clip. Let me just type in Trent. Trent clip. For the people that have not seen it, where's this Trent clip? Oh, here it is. Right, this is what happened. 17 million views. Wow. This is, yeah. So this was Trent Alexander-Arnold. Oh, God. Shame on you, mate. Shame on you. Let's watch that again. That deserves a rewatch. Let's watch that again. Yeah, you look pissed. Do you know that? Do you remember when we lost the Champions League final? And it was against Real Madrid, and he watched Real Madrid lift the trophy, and then he just turns around. It's literally a carbon copy of that. What was Trent expecting there? Everyone to be walking over and singing his name? That was obviously, yeah, Trent. That was Trent's last ever away day with Liverpool. I mean, he didn't even come on. Do you think he comes on against Palace or not? As a half scout, he's already feeling the regret. It's his own fault, though, isn't it? 37 votes, right? The poll is in, right? Wirtz 43%, Isaac 37%, Alvarez 18%. The amount of people that actually said they wanted Alvarez in the chat, I'd expect, Slot might play him. I think he does. And you know what? I don't think he gets booed. I don't think he'll even get booed, because I think the mood around the club, I think the mood around the club will, well, let's not playing that. Although, let's leave it on his face there. There you go, Trent. You can have that. Look at that. Yeah, I think the boos are already done with. I don't see him getting booed, because I think Liverpool would just be looking forward to celebrating the title. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a Bayern fan, but the connection on the pitch between Musiala and Wirtz is sensational, as we saw, for example, at the European Championship. I can't see a world whereby Leverkusen allow that to happen. You know, no, Trent doesn't come on. I started thinking of the defense for next season. Salah's better than Musiala. No offense. As an actual player, I think Musiala's better. But yeah, Salah is better as an actual. I really hope the Sesko stuff there was something I wanted to pull up. This. So this actually came out from Ben Jacobs. He came out and said this, which I actually thought was interesting exclusively. Al Hilal approached Michael Edwards for the CEO of football role. Edwards engaged despite being content at FSG. A surprise if he left. Yeah, best in class. I think we all need to actually give Michael Edwards a massive apology. Because the amount of people that actually criticised him last summer, the amount of people that gave Richard Hughes abuse for not doing transfers, and somewhat rightly so, back the manager in this first transfer window, I could understand. But we're now seeing why they didn't. Because it was all prepping for this big overhaul summer. Get rid of the deadwood, bring in star quality, potentially like your Wirtz, like your Fringpongs, like your Kerkezes, to give Slot that first year. Because what happens if Arne Slot decided, I wanted these plays last summer and I want to evolve my system. Like Slot is involved in his games, he's involved his tactics, and those plays just doesn't really work anymore. Do you know what I mean? And that's the reason why I actually think we didn't do really any business last summer. Manchester United now. Let's go. I'm surprised Martinez potentially could leave. If I'm being real, but yeah, Frimpong medical. Liam Delap. Liam Delap. I won't be surprised if those links potentially what's the word? But yeah, I've seen a lot of people, man, really are commenting about the Sesko stuff. Yeah. Some of the go to the Premier League improving. Yep. So, what do people think about Sesko? Huh? Sesko on air. You know what? Let's run a poll. Would you take Sesko? Would you take Sesko? Yay or no? Yay or no? Let's see what the people think. I think this one's going to be an interesting one, especially when it comes down to the yeses. just technically relax. Yes, let's go. Hell no. I mean, already on 25% are saying yes for Sesko, you know. Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting. Right, while that poll is running, I'm going to see. There's some stuff. So, 28 minutes ago, so Sky Cav, this guy, him, he's on that Sky. I can never really pronounce his name. He said, Bayern Munich remain the favourites. Players' preference is to remain in Germany. Leverkusen would sell abroad. Maybe Sesko could be that striker, but then are we really going to go and spend 100 million euros on a striker when we're potentially that? Do you know what I mean? So far, 22% have said yes for Sesko. Wow. I mean, each to your own, I guess. Yeah. Me personally, no, I wouldn't take Sesko. I mean, I look at Sesko's statistics, 13 goals, 5 assists in 33 games. I think his numbers are just really bang average. As a technical striker, I don't think he's bad. Yeah, Cav is, yeah. As a technical striker, I actually don't think he's bad when I watched him. But again, very, very raw. And how old is he? 21. This is literally either fucking Darwin. Is it Darwin again or not? We ain't going for Sesko. He doesn't suit our data system. So I'll call that bull. I think Michael Edwards and that do actually like him. But in terms of an actual systematic player, no. Bayern were favourites. Liverpool would have walked away. I agree. If being truthful. Edwards is all about the data. He is. Jokeris, any chances or fully done going to Arsenal? I do think he is going to be an Arsenal player. Boys, if Bayern were favourites, yep, that is true. That is 2. Right, there we go. Is it true City are trying to hijack this Kerkez deal? Yes. I mean, there was a report from Mark Douglas, mate, that Man City are trying to hijack the deal. In my opinion, I don't think he'll go to Manchester City. But my theory has been proven to be correct, that I personally feel like the reason why Man City pulled out the race for Florian Wirtz is because they want to spend the money in other areas and rebuild the whole squad. Hence why you're going to see them get linked with a dozen of players. But big up yourself, Ozan. I've seen you in other people's chats, so I know you're a calm guy. Same reason Klopp and Edwards fell out. Klopp wanted Nunes, and Edwards is very against Nunes. Sesko's Nunes 2.0. Check live transfer page link to Darwin. What is it? This. The Liverpool have firm interest in Ben Sesko, and the player would be keen on the move. A potential deal would be linked to Darwin's departure. We're going to get linked with a load of players in this sort of position because Darwin's departure is basically going to be coming to an end. Because Darwin's departure is going to be coming to an end. We're going to get linked with fucking everyone. We're going to be linked with fucking next door's cat tomorrow. So, lad, when do you think we announce Frimpong? When do I think we announce him? Well, he's past his medical. Then he'll have to do all that, the media crap. I think we see an official tweet. I'm not talking like, do you know when players do like the media vlogs and they get the kit on, they do all the pictures and all that? I think we're seeing Liverpool do a tweet where Liverpool have agreed to a fee with, or Liverpool have activated the release clause with Bailey for January Frimpong. I think we see that this week. In my opinion. Feeling Kerkez goes to City. Any news on that? I don't think he goes to City, man. Big up yourself, bro. Yeah, I know you're always calm, man. And yes, he did play centre back. 115 charges are going to finish them. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. In that image, give him a... Oh, my days. But in my opinion, again, to answer this guy's comment about Kerkez, the reason why I actually genuinely think... Let me pull up the Kerkez stuff because people are obviously asking about the situation. So this is what happened. Mark Douglas basically said Man City would join the race for Miles Kerkez, potentially setting up a showdown with Liverpool for the Bournemouth defender. My opinion, I think he's still going to be a Liverpool player. And I'm very confident. I'm not even going to lie. He looks like Darwin was shorter. I think LFC should go for Simons if Wirtz doesn't work. If Wirtz doesn't work, get me Cherky. 25 million. Kerkez is going to Liverpool. I've never been as sure, and I am all that time. Lol, big up, man. but it's still possible, of course, mate. Yeah, pick up yourself, Jordan, mate. I think, in my opinion, the reason why I want Cherky as second choice, because I don't think the gap between Cherky and Wirtz is as big as it is compared to, let's say, an Isak and Sesko. That's the way I look at it. And so Cherky is available for 25 million. Why is he available for 25 million, by the way? Is it a release clause? Because surely Leon are not, like, what is the reason for like 25 mil? Like, why is he going for that cheap? Like, is it a release clause? Is it due to 1 year left on his contract? Because I'm sorry, there's a lot of clubs interested in him, and that could generate potentially a bidding war for him. Like, you got Manchester United now in the race, Arsenal, Liverpool. There's going to be other clubs. Turkey's 25 million euros, actually 18 in English money. Yeah, 20 million. The winger is said to have a 22 million 19 clause in his existing contract. Oh, is it because of his contract? Right. No, because I actually never knew that. All I've known is that basically he's got 25 mil release clause. 25 mil like to leave. Maybe because Turkey only came from the Lyon Academy. Yeah, true. Contract nearing its end. Yeah, how much? Let's actually have a look. Lyon wage bill. Let's share this tab. Yeah, he's on 76 grand a week. He has only got 1 year left on his contract, and obviously, yeah, like someone said, it's an existing contract, so that really does explain the reasoning why he's going for basically fucking peanuts. Do you know what I mean? Also, yeah, he's on 20. He's on 76. Bro, he's on 76 grand a week in euros. So that's probably like what, like 60 grandish. Liverpool will probably give him like 110, 120, I reckon, if he was to come. And the reason why we want him is because he's versatile. You know what I mean? All over Turkey. I think Wirtz is staying at Leverkusen. We were 5-1 to sign Wirtz. Now something bad has gone wrong. I never really take into look. I'm a person that doesn't bet, if I'm being honest. Like, people want to bet, they can bet. I'm not a person that likes to bet, but in my opinion, I don't really take betting odds into much consideration, because when Mbappe was at PSG, Liverpool were odds on to sign Mbappe. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't take betting odds into a real consideration. He's the one I want. It's no brainer. He's a baller. Betting people mainly go off really what they just see in the media. So, like, let's say, for example, a couple of people put out a tweet regarding, I don't know, let's say in Mbeumo, for example, random player, Mbeumo to Liverpool. They see a lot of people just, let's say, like, I don't know, a couple of journalists tweet about it. They'll put it on their betting app with the odds, and they'll just make up a rough price of what they actually think. It's not because, like, bookies tend to really know anything. Leon in the mud financially, that's why, yeah. But you'd think, yeah, I suppose that the existing contract is, yeah, bookies always wins, man, yeah, because idiots will bet on, like, Mbappe to go to Liverpool, and the black bookies will be like, yeah, thank you. Do you know what I mean? That's why bookies, I mean, I don't bet, so even I flip it over. But it's like, yeah, I mean, Turkey, if he wants to come, he can come. But yeah, that's the news regarding Kerkez as well. We're on, how many likes are we on? Let's have a look. Let's have a look how many likes we're on. I think we're on 60 likes. Let's see if we can keep that pushing up. I don't know how many subscribers we're on. But yeah, bookies, man, they always win. Like, I've been, how many subs? Wow. What have I just seen here? Wow, we're on 863, man. Appreciate every single person. That is supporting the channel. Always. Henny going down. Nice buddy. Loving the live. I appreciate you, man. So we've done about 2 hours and 15 minutes today. I could do about another 5 or so minutes, and then I've got to go and sort out some stuff for my girlfriend. So, yeah, let's see what the poll was saying regarding Sesko. 45% said yes for Benjamin Sesko. I would love to know the reasonings for that, because that's interesting, especially when I see mostly. But I reckon if I did Etitike Sesko, that would be interesting as well. Let me have a look. What else is being posted around? Someone just put on Twitter, is it worth restarting the sign young centre forward with tons of potential but needs refining project with Sesko, or do we stick with Nunes? I say we do none. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather do none. But yeah, man. Oh, please. Apparently, Nuno Espirito Santo could potentially Forest at the end of the season. Really? Liverpool now 2-for-1 for Wirtz. I won't take betting into consideration. Sesko can finish sitters. I mean, they both finish sitters. Who the fuck is this? What's that? I agree, do none, but if those are my only two choices as a new striker, at least a chance to get a player that gives some end product. If I had it my way, Frimpong, Kerkez, get Wirtz, and go and get a left winger. Go and get a left winger. To be honest, especially with the rumours with Diaz. I'm very mixed on how I feel about Benjamin Sesko, if I'm going to be honest. But I really don't know how to ultimately feel about it. I think it's a bit of a sticky situation with that one. But yeah, we've done what? 2 hours and 16 minutes today. Wow. What left winger do you have in mind? Anthony Gordon. Oh, do you think we could go back in for Anthony Gordon, though, actually? No, real talk. Now, I get Isak's unattainable, but is Gordon unattainable? Because we've seen Liverpool said they want a left winger. We know we have a strong interest in Gordon last summer. You know, the call Curse song. It was made by my mod. We run the Discord for Team Coppish. I actually saw that. Right. I watched some. I actually was watching Coppish last night. Actually, is that the one where like in the song it's something about don't say no names and all that stuff? I think Wirtz then used Diaz. Yeah. He is a Liverpool fan, right? Surely would be agreeable. I mean, I think he was willing to come last summer. I think what fucked up the Anthony Gordon deal. Do you remember when Newcastle was in PSR issues? They sold Anderson to Nottingham Forest. And then what happened? A load of reports come out saying, yeah, Gordon to Liverpool is basically off. So I think he would be willing to come. I think it's more about how much will Newcastle want. And do you know what? He's actually got a lot of time left in his contract because he did sign a contract early in the season. So look, we have to obviously wait and see. Do you know what I mean? But it's certainly exciting times, people. The transfer window is only heating up, and that's not just in the Liverpool aspect. I think it's going to heat up with all the clubs in the Premier League. I reckon easily 1.5 billion. Easy. It will be spent in the Premier League alone. That's my opinion. And yeah, it's heating up. You know, normally transfer windows normally do take a bit of time to get going. But this one is actually started before the season is even finished. Teams want to get their business done, and I think Slot wants. You look at it, pre-seasons in what, let's say, about 8-9 weeks till pre-season. Slot wants his players in ready to go. That's why. I think Wirtz and use Diaz now. Diaz 9. I don't mind Diaz in the 9, but then there's games where I'm like, so fucking frustrating. Yeah, we need you on a live with Coppish. Both real channels. Only ones I follow. I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words, mate. I do appreciate the kind words. Look, Coppish are a far and a level above me. Do you know what I mean? I'm a little fish in the pond. Do you know what I mean? I've not even got 1,000 subs yet. So, I mean, look, Coppish, you know, they've been going for some time now. Same with Redmond TV, Anfield Agenda. There's other names out there. My personal favorite channel. Do I have a favorite Liverpool channel? I've got 3. If I had to pick, there's 3 I watch. I won't say the word religiously, but I watch a lot of them. That's Born and Red. Who else? Don Hussam. I watched the show where he does that show with Tom Little and Coppish. Who else do I watch? I watch Big Sixpence when he does his stuff with like the Liverpool content. Trust I'll make it happen. It'd be good to get you out there. Appreciate the kind words, mate. Honestly, I really do. You know, thank you for the kind words. It's always good to give back to your community. Do you know what I mean? That's why I try and read every single body's comment. Do you know what I mean? Because people are taking their time and they're watching my content. You know, they're hitting the like button, they're subscribing to the channel and stuff like that. So I have to appreciate that. You know, I come from a family where it's good to give back to the people. And that's how I've been brought up. So I do appreciate the kind words, mate. But yeah, people, I've got to go and sort out some stuff with the girlfriend. And been live for what, 2 hours and 21 minutes. Good stream today, man. Talking transfers again. I'm sure we'll be back tomorrow if any stuff breaks. We're all Pool fans. It's always great to see the real ones. Yeah, big up yourself, man. Big up yourself, mate. Big up yourself. I might do a call-in show. I don't know how that would go. Or would that be a good idea? Because I've watched some call-in shows before, and a lot of them have gone wrong. And I'm not going to say that because my the video will probably get taken down if I'm going to say what I really want to say. Football goes in cycles, some of those old ones. To see the Paisley, we all know the treat and the store, the dominance for the years to come. Big up yourself, mate, for joining the stream. But it is the end of the stream, though, mate. I do apologize. We've been live for what? Nearly 2.5 hours. And yeah, I'm gonna be back tomorrow. I might do a live later, although you might have seen me in the channel before. Luca Talks Ball. We'll be speaking about other clubs' transfers and what they're going to be doing this summer. What do you think Liverpool unveil Frimpong? I think they'll make an announcement this week. That's my opinion. It'll only be like a little tweet, I reckon. I don't think you're going to see clips on all this until the end of the season. Subbed from Big Up Yourself, mate. But people, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever you're doing. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. We've still got over 30 people watching. If I actually knew how to redirect to people's channels, I actually would. So I'm actually going to learn how to do that. So when I end a live stream, I can redirect to a channel and help out some other people. Do you know what I mean? It's always good to help out the people just like you guys have helped out me. So yeah, take care. Thank you so much for watching, people. Have a good rest of your day. And if more news breaks, I'm sure we'll go live. What's the worst that can happen?